It's no secret that Aya is probably one of my favorite characters. She was the character that I first got into the game with, and she's honestly been one of my favorites ever since. The thing about Aya that's always been so appealing to me is that she has 3 really distinct playstyles in all 3 of her weapons. Sniper, pistol, and AR, they all play very differently. They skill differently, they build differently, and honestly, it's really flexible. I just find Aya really fun, and I also find it really fun to just grief everybody I see in the first 5 minutes of the game. So that's why I'm going to be showing you guys all about Polaris Griefer Sniper Aya. I want to first preface this by mentioning that this build is not necessarily the most competitively viable build in the world. Can it win games? Yes. In fact, it's actually pretty good in general. But this is more of a cheese strategy more than anything. And when it comes to squad gameplay or duo gameplay, it's really good for just running people down really fast and early in the game, and can group with your team pretty early. So it definitely has a lot of value there. And in solo, this build can win games, and you'll see that in this video. This build's not bad, but I do have to warn you, this is more of a cheese more than anything. So to get right into the build, I'm going to first go over the weapon, which is Polaris. Polaris is a very high attack power sniper rifle. It also has a couple of unique properties. It's the only sniper rifle that gives you 40% attack speed, which is a ton of attack speed for a sniper rifle, and compensates for the generally low base attack speed of sniper rifles. Polaris also, and this is kind of a hidden stat, Polaris also comes with 3 ammo per reload. Most other snipers like 1 to 2. Polaris, the highest at 3. Now, another wonderful thing about this sniper rifle is that it does build in only 2 zones. You can finish it between Uptown and Factory. It's the only 2 zone way you can finish it. And here's another thing that can also finish in 2 zones, which is the other half of the core of this build, and that is Maverick Runners. Yeah, you guessed it, Maverick Runners, the incredibly fast out of combat movement speed shoe, which also gives you attack speed. So between Uptown and Factory, you finish your Polaris and you finish your Maverick Runners. Now what this does for you is that as soon as you finish these 2 items in Factory, you are going to be basically the strongest person on the map at that point, bar none. Basically nobody can mess with you. If anyone comes into your sight, you can run them down and kill them. And, well, let's just say, I wouldn't want to be running into this build at that point in the game. Now, this is where the build gets kind of tricky. So since you are so strong and you are so fast, right after you finish here in Factory, your best game plan is to go into either Chapel, Cemetery, or Hospital, depending on where you're seeing pings. The most important thing for you to do at this point is to kill as many people as you can as soon as possible. And trust me, it shouldn't be that difficult. You'll just be doing some like auto Q auto, you know, if they try to run away, you just E after them. Like you should be able to get these kills no problem. You are so much stronger with so much range. It's pretty much invincible. Now, ideally, you would like the people that you end up killing to feed you the materials you need for your build, because if they're generally down here in the south side of the map, they're probably going to have the materials you need for a crit set, which is what you're going for. Not included in this build, you will also be potentially swapping into a Bucephalus later on in the game if you kill somebody who happens to have the materials for a Bucephalus, or if you just kill somebody who does have a Bucephalus, you should take it and hold on to it for swapping later on, because it is your best in slot for, you know, a non-red shoes crit shoe item later in the game. If for some reason you don't manage to get any kills that give you any materials you need, your route is actually just going to be Uptown, Factory, Cemetery, Hospital, and then you're going to TP to Dock afterwards. Now, as for the rest of the build, I feel like it's all self-explanatory. Crystal Tiara and Optical Camel Suit, they give you your crit chance. Creed of the Night gives you more attack power and gives you crit damage. And Lace Quiver is sort of a spicy new addition to the build. It gives you 10 attack power, which is a very relevant amount of attack power. It gives you 25% attack speed, and it gives you a little bit of movement speed, because you kind of need all of that. It's all very important. Now, as for the skilling order has a couple of variations that you can do, but for me personally, I would recommend maxing your R over your Q, over your passive, over your E, over your W. Or alternatively, you can do R over Q, over passive, over W, over E. Basically, the idea is that your last two ones will generally be W or E. It's up to you if you want more mobility or if you want to have a stronger attack while you're reloading. Either one's fine. Now, the reason why we max our Q first is because Aya's Q actually has a unique property. Aya's Q's range scales with her attack range, and since we're playing Sniper, that means her Q is going to be really long ranged, and it does pretty good damage too, but it matches the range of our auto attacks, which is really good. Now, as for what you can do with rare materials if you happen to get a wick kill or if you get something off of a bear, I would recommend switching into red shoes to replace your Maverick Runners / Bucephalus in the late game. Red shoes gives you crit chance, it also gives you lifesteal, which are two stats you could really use. And also you could replace your lace quiver with potentially an emerald tablet if you have a force core. You can also get a moonlight pendant to replace the lace quiver if you'd rather have some more attack power and some lifesteal. And yeah, that pretty much just wraps it up on the build. Let's check out an example game. So in the starting area, the hardest thing for us to do is to get all of our piano wire. Like honestly, getting piano wire is really difficult for some reason. I feel like there's just not even that many here in Uptown. Like I can always get everything else consistently really fast, but the piano wire is always just a pain. So hopefully we get it pretty quickly this time. Once again, that's the only thing we're missing. So when you get your first battery, you can kind of make a choice between two different options for what to do with it. You can either use that first battery to finish your shoes that lets you like loot faster, potentially run away from people, or you could choose to finish your weapon, which lets you kill basically anyone you see. So either one is a good option. Personally, I haven't decided which one's actually just better overall. The shoes for looting sounds kind of nice, but I also do really like the idea of being able to just like gun people down fast. Although you still do need that shock to finish the full weapon, which I don't seem to be finding. Okay, now our weapon's done. And we can finish our shoes too. We've got pings in chapel, we've got pings underneath us here in factory. Whichever one pings next is probably who I'm going to run at. I'm probably going to go to chapel and chase those pings because that gets us closer to finishing more of our items. But they haven't been pinging lately, so they may have left already. Oh. First kill detected. Oh, he went this way. He has a lot of stuff for us. That's the wonderful thing about this build, is that oftentimes the people you kill in these areas, like these bottom half of the map areas, like they will almost always have like stuff for your build. They'll have like crit gear, because this is like the crit area. We got pings in dock. I'd rather go to cemetery and just like keep getting our build done, because we've got a guy over here too. But in general, yeah, you could just chase any ping, really. Once again, more people feeding us exactly the stuff we need. Like this may seem like I'm just getting really lucky, but I swear to you, this is like every game. People will just feed you your stuff. And we've got so much mocha bread, it's not like we're ever gonna run out of pretty decent food. I really like that guy's name is just Motorcycle. Like he's playing Sylvia and he's just named Motorcycle. That's really good. And we're actually pretty much full build. We just need a short rod and we're full build. Super strong. If we get any more alcohol, we can make even more mocha bread. As if we didn't already have enough. Could go for that though. Oh, got someone over there. Doing good so far. Remember to keep killing animals as you're going around. You want to keep that mastery up. We've got somebody over here to our left. Ooh, it's a Zahir. A rather underbuilt Zahir. Who has a lot of mana restoration for us, so that is quite nice. So just one more little tip. If you are kind of in the middle of your full rotation, you have 3 ammo, right? So if you're in the middle of, you know, reloading after you used your main 3 shots, you kind of have nothing to do. While you're reloading, you could pop a few W shots in there too, because you can do that while you're still reloading. It's kind of a weird thing. Aya can do basically anything while she's reloading. Oh, hang on, we've got another ISIL down here. Yet another kill. They're very squishy, so this should be a pretty easy kill for us, unless they, for some reason, manage to burst us before we have the chance to burst them. Cancel whatever craft he's doing. He missed his Q. And that will be it for him. Ooh, more mana restoration. Love to see it. So here's one more thing. If you manage to grab Bucephalus off of somebody's body, you should absolutely hold on to it, because when you're in combat, Bucephalus is actually a much better pair of shoes for you than the Maverick Runners. The thing is, Maverick Runners, they're great because they're convenient along our route, and they're really strong in the early game. Like for griefing people, for chasing people, it's fantastic. But late game, you want that extra crit chance. You don't really care about that out of combat movement speed or that attack speed as much while you're in combat. Because the thing about Sniper is that you only really have 3 shots. So if you blow through your shots even faster, you're still stuck with the same reload speed. So that's not going to be much of a help anyways. I'm just gonna give up on that. That's not happening. There's the box though. We can make those. So since our goal right now is to just sort of run down everyone we find, it's in our best interest to probably hit all the consoles near us, make sure that we can catch anybody who's trying to like avoid making too much noise. There, we got noise in cemetery, so we are fully chasing at this point. We do want to grab console too, but if they ping again, we do need to be chasing them before they get away. Oh, pings in chapel. Gonna grab console. And we're close to level 14 too, so we're close to seeing our weapon skill level up. Wick should be showing up here in just a moment as well. But ideally, I'd rather get rid of this guy before they have a chance to third party our Wick fight. They're really doing something over there, making a lot of noise. They were just fighting a chicken. Dude has not even finished his weapon yet. What is going on? Looks like that Yuki's gonna go for the Wick kill. Oh, he missed her. But just a little bit. That is a fully built Yuki, so we do have to be a little bit careful. Gonna put down some damage, get him a little bit scared, and then go try and sneak Wick as soon as I can. Nice. I'm gonna set up here. I assume the Yuki's gonna cross my vision at some point while he goes and looks for the body. I'm gonna be clicking just in case he just crosses right here. Doesn't seem to be anything over here though, so I'm actually gonna cancel that. Yeah, he wasn't coming anyways. Let's go check out this guy over here. This Kiara. Pretty much full build with the auto arms too, so that's pretty scary. I'm gonna grab console to use the vision to my advantage. These last few guys are kind of hiding from me. I don't seem to be able to track them down. I think the Kiara went up towards sort of temple, or maybe they're just staying in pond. And this Yuki is making no noise either. Just making it a little bit hard to actually track down and finish off these last few guys. Let's see what's in this gold crate. If you get some free bombs, that'd be really nice. Looks like we're gonna get a final zone cemetery, which is pretty good for us. I actually don't dislike this zone at all for Aya. That being said, we have no cameras, so our long-range sniping is going to be a little bit more difficult. So taking this free emerald tablet is worth it. If you're not lazy like me, you can actually just craft your own. But I was being pretty lazy, so I didn't end up crafting it. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop that. Grab the camera. Grab both of these cameras, actually. Both of these cameras. And try and make some remote mines before time runs out. Since I didn't have to make the emerald tablet myself, I can just make some remote mines. Just pretty good use of our... Ooh, shoot. I'm probably gonna drop those. Don't need them anymore. If I get a nail, that'd be nice. If not, that's okay. Oh, there we go. Try and sneak my way back in. Hopefully the entrance is not being camped. Okay, so in this situation, I'm going to put down a few pendulum axes that I have available to give myself a little bit of room for spacing in case he's trying to, like, jump on me really fast. I'll have a little bit of a buffer to fall back on. So our route's just a route. It can't actually stop you from attacking. So in that situation, we just play the DPS check and we can just take that kill anyways. Overall, this build's really cheesy. It's really fun. It's not the best at maybe closing out games, but if you want to just run it down and kill a bunch of people early, you can actually still end up winning the game at the end. But yeah, overall, this build's really fun. You should try it out for yourself and see what you think.